Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and Red Hulk got a brand new uniform. Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones himself. And it's disappointing. And it's super disappointing because they actually cooked with this one. It's a really weird situation to be in when you have a uniform that is genuinely cool for a character that's genuinely cool, and the devs actually made an ability or sort of like a skill combo that's actually cool, but then they just forgot the damage. Everything else is good. Literally everything else is good. Skills look cool, character looks cool, playing the character is fun, but the character is just shit tier damage. So I'm sorry if this video is going to turn into me crying about the character and begging the devs to just like double his damage, but he really needs it badly. The only way it could possibly stay this way, and I'd be 100% wrong about the damage, is if he's getting a tier 4 in 2 weeks, and his tier 4 is insane, and he's like the juice god, and he's just obliterating things. If that's the case, sure, man. We've seen characters before. Blue Dragon is a really good example. There's been more recent examples, but the one that comes to mind is Blue Dragon. Characters that are just so bad at level 70 or level 80 before they get the tier 4, and then as soon as they get the tier 4, they're just popping off like crazy. So as it stands right now, if you're wondering, in a sort of quick summary way, you don't want to watch the whole video, sure, you got things to do, etc. Should you buy this uniform? And the answer is essentially, do you want a combat villain support that can give all allies 15% HP and 25% increased damage to villains? That's basically it. If you already have Abomination in his new uniform, if you already have Taskmaster and his uniform, you can skip this. You can go ahead and skip this uniform. There's really nothing else. There's no benefit for Ghost Rider. There's no benefit for Jean Grey. There's no benefit for Human Torch. All of those fire damage characters that you're thinking, oh, well, I can use his lead, the 70% fire damage lead, plus the support. Yeah, that's true, but Satana already exists. Ghost Panther already exists. Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes already exists. There's tons of support characters, not to mention more specific ones, like for Jean, Dazzler is an insane support. Valkyrie is an insane support in general for these characters. There's very few situations, but yes, if you don't have Satana, if you don't have Ghost Panther, if you don't have Abomination, if you have like sort of a weird mishmash roster where you don't really have two good supports for Ghost Rider, for example, yeah, and you don't have his artifact, I guess, to convert the fire resist from his leadership to fire damage, I guess you could use, Red Hulk. He's not bad. He's certainly not bad as a lead support. But on the other hand, I think a lot of players are just going to pass because they have enough of the other pieces that I've mentioned already, and it's just not worth it buying 1,000 crystals worth of a uniform for that. Now, what do I mean when I say he's fun to play? So I talked about this already in the first impressions video, but I'll go over it one more time because it's crazy. So he has a V-Pad on 2, which is really nice. V-Pad on 2, it's very fast, it's very responsive, and it goes very far. So you can use this as an initiator into combat, and you can also use this as an eject button. Oh, the boss is about to do a purple attack or something. Jean Grey's about to dive bomb me. I'm just going to eject. And look how far he goes. He goes to Africa, Asia. He goes really far. So that's really nice. He's got the V-Pad skill. Then he's got a third skill with an instant cancel, where you bounce around, do all the stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's got the 5th skill here. Looks really nice. 5th skill here. After a short delay, you get the explosions there on the ground, and then he does that thing there. So you do 5, you do 3, 5, and then you can go into something else. For example, 2. It's not a lot of hits, unfortunately. But the real big thing is that his 4th skill, you can hold it down, and he's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then boom. It looks really cool. It looks really cool. It's kind of hard to tell how many hits exactly it's doing because the hit counter resets, but it's probably around 20 hits. And so every combo you do is 3, 5, and then as soon as you see the ground stuff, you do 4. And you just let that play out. And then anytime in between you're about to get hit, you just eject with 2. The additional combo to this is that his first skill, gives you a 50% proc for 4 attacks. This is what I think the devs kind of miscalculated. They lowered his damage so much because they thought that the 4 50% procs were going to be like so insane for his damage. So I would encourage the devs to either go back and buff Red Hulk by buffing his number of hits or buffing the damage on the hits, or by buffing this proc so that it's like 100% or 150%. Because really he needs like a lot of damage and a lot of help. But basically, the way the rotation goes is you do 3-5, and then when you see the thing on the ground, you do 1-4. And then theoretically, those 4 hits that are buffed from Gamma Crush, that buff is being passed on to Burning Fist, right? So it's pretty cool. Now, for this showcase, I already have his artifact, which gives him additional elemental damage. So he gets 18% additional elemental damage. You can see right now he's rocking 39% fire damage. Then when you use his lead, he's going to go up above 100% fire damage. So I don't think he's proc friendly, first of all. But I think you could make a case for either a Mighty Judgment or a Mighty Rage. I think you can make a case for either of them. The problem, we're going to go with a Rage for this testing, but the problem is not whether using a Rage or a Judgment. The problem is that he doesn't have enough hits, and so those CTPs don't trigger consistently enough. First up, we're going to test stage 34 of Gore. This should not be an issue at all for Red Hulk. But as you'll see, it's not so much that you know, he doesn't do good damage. It's just that it's very inconsistent because his Rage CTP just does not want to trigger. So we're actually off right now. We got to go here and do this. Okay, get that done. Defensively, I'll say I'm happy with how he is defensively. He can take a hit and he heals up quite nicely because he has that Wolverine type passive healing. So that is really good. Surprisingly tanky in that regard. But yeah, really not happy with the performance offensively. You can see even with the Awakening skill up, sometimes he just doesn't trigger his proc. And again, you go through like the whole rotation. It's kind of nuts because there's not that much you can do. I guess you can start the rotation with 2 and try and see what happens, but the issue there is you're going to be late. So you're sort of, you know, characters who don't trigger their procs, you know, very consistently, they don't tend to be very strong characters because they're not consistent, right? It's a big part of the big part of that. So it's a bit disappointing to see this happen. We're actually having a lot of trouble here with targeting, but hopefully we can get that done. Nice. I can try opening with his second skill, but yeah, a minute and a half here on this first part of the fight. It's pretty rough considering we're using triple support technically, right? Because he has his own support, and then we're using Mysterio and A-Bomb. And then keep in mind, obviously both A-Bomb and Mysterio are premium supports, so it can't get much better for him than this, right? But you can see all those hits and not a single trigger of his Rage proc initially. And this is kind of the theme here. He does tank quite well, and you can see when the Rage triggers, the damage is good. It's just that the Rage doesn't trigger half the time. So what are you supposed to do? You just sit there, kind of waiting, hoping for it to trigger. But so he doesn't have very many hits, and this is what makes it worse that it's not triggering, right? Because then you don't have a lot of. Oh, whoa. Okay, you don't have a lot of other attacks that you can use to trigger it. There's a lot going on the screen right now, but there we go. 2.5 minute clear. Next up, we're going to try stage 19 of Gene. When I was doing this in the live stream, a couple people accused me of, you know, kind of sandbagging our boy Red Hulk here because Gene has high elemental resist. That's news to me. I don't remember that ever being the case. I ripped through Gene with a lot of elemental damage characters. So if anyone has proof of that in the game, like written somewhere, I'd love to see that. Now, I guess what you could do, we're going to get hit here. I guess what you could do is start with the first skill, or sorry, with the second skill, when you are queuing up a rotation so that you can trigger the proc, right? You can start with 2. But the problem with starting with 2 is that then you don't have anything to eject. Again, this is crazy. All those hits. I don't know if the character's bugged or what, dude. All of those hits and not a single hit triggered the Rage proc until the end of the rotation. Look at this. It's going to happen again. I did a whole rotation. I did an entire rotation. So this is just going to be so frustrating for players. Where, why do I want to play a character? When the damage is good, the damage is great. But he's so inconsistent. You know? Like, look, all those hits, nothing. Like, he has to be bugged, right? Despite the fact that Red Hulk is a villain, I'm going to bring in Coulson because Coulson can give him a guaranteed crit rate. So now I want to see if with the guaranteed crit rate, not only do I do more damage, okay, I do a lot more damage, but now the Rage proc is also actually activating. Okay, that was really good. That was 15 seconds in phase 1. I actually want to go back to Gene now after seeing how explosive that opening rotation was against Kang. I want to see if maybe I was doing something wrong. So let's see. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Okay. So 15 bars on the opening rotation. I'm just going to eject there with the... it's pretty good. I don't know. The Rage is definitely proccing a lot more consistently, which is really, really nice. We're going to wait for the Awakening skill to be up here. And we're going to pop off. Yeah, this is a lot better. Wow. Wow, this is a lot faster. Wow. Is that really the secret? You have to put Coulson on the team? That's so dumb. Did they forget to give him guaranteed crit rate? There's no way, right? Yeah, okay. The damage is going to be pretty bad without the Awakening. That's okay. Because we're going to just loop around here and pop off. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, nice, 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 nice. Okay, gonna run away there. The damage looks so bad without the Awakening skill, bro. I'm like holding my breath, waiting for something big to hit, and it's just like wah, wah. Not a lot of hits there until the Awakening skill popped up. I noticed that. Yeah, I still think you still kind of have that problem. I can still see it at times without the Awakening skill. I mean, A, he doesn't do a lot of damage without the Awakening skill, which is kind of cringe. But then B, he just doesn't have a lot of hits. And so even with guaranteed crit, if you don't have a lot of hits in your kit, the Rage procs and the Judgment procs, for that matter, don't always trigger, right? Or they don't trigger with... What? With consistency. What the hell just happened? I was clearly dodging that. Okay, whatever, man. I don't know what the hell just happened there. I think they forgot to give him guaranteed crit rate. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. I think they forgot to give him guaranteed crit rate. I think he needs like 30% guaranteed crit rate, and then he still needs a tune-up on some of his skills. I think his force skill needs to hit harder, and I think the proc should be like 60 or 75% or something like that. I think this is a real shame if this character gets left like this. I'm rank 117. No one is building this dude. No one. I have a bunch of 1-star Uru. No one is building this dude, which is a shame, again, because I think he could be really fun for players. And he's affordable, he's free-to-play friendly, etc. He's a lead support. Like, this should be our champion for this update, right? Like, sure, Captain America, Falcon, whatever. But people should be like, yes, Red Hulk, because he's a fire damage leadership. He's a support with HP and damage to villains for all allies, and he's fun to play and he's strong. We're so close. We're so close. They just need to make him stronger, and then he'll be absolutely like a top 5 pick for new players to build up their roster, and target characters who are awakened. Because the other thing is, awakened characters are really nice for newer players because you don't need books, right? You don't need the books to tier 3 them. So I really hope the devs think about this one. I know they basically don't review and rework characters anymore after they release them. It's just one and done. But I really hope that they take a second pass at Red Hulk, because he should hit way harder. He should hit way, 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 way harder. Anyways, boys, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching the video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content, or the thumbs down if you hated it. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.